Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial. And today in this episode what I think we'll do is we'll work around the rear of the car, and the reason for that is because I actually made a mistake in the previous video. We can see that I've got this little bit inside here which actually correlates to that, so I'll have a go at maybe that. What we could also maybe do is, I'm just having a look, we could actually have a go at extracting the rear and then putting the rear bumper together. That might be quite cool since we're working around here anyway. So I'm going to go and select this here. I'm just going to go to mesh and then separate it because, like I said, we've got this down here. I'm going to just isolate the two. Not sure if you guys made the same mistake as I did, but it's not going to be too tricky of a fix because all that we really need to do is, this all kind of coincides with the faces that we have on this underside here. So if I just zoom in, and we can see that we've got this bevel, I'm just going to go and select all of the faces that run around here. I think what we'll want to do is, let's maybe delete all of these lower ones here. And what I'm actually going to do is, we did it as part of a bevel, so let's maybe get rid of all of those. Let's actually, rather than do that, I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to just double click that edge there. I'm going to control delete that. And then let me go down here real quick. And I think the easiest thing for us to do here is going to be just to get rid of this whole lower bevel. So I'm going to go and let's grab all of these edges here. I'm going to take all of those middle ones as well. Grab all of that. And I want to go around here. So it's a little bit awkward when we add the bevel because it means that going backwards is a little bit harder, but we'll select all of those. I'm going to hold Control and hit delete just to get rid of that. I'm going to double click that edge, hold Control and hit delete on there too. And then I'm just going to do the same one here. So we'll hit Control, I think on here it looks like, maybe what I'm going to need to do is just make sure that they're merged there. I'll get rid of all of this too. So we're just dialing this all the way back. Let's just see which one of these I want to get rid of. I think it's the inner. Okay, so we're just dialing that all the way back until we've got no kind of extra edges on there. If you guys didn't actually make this mistake, then that's fine. And what I'm going to do as well real quick is I'm just going to snap all of this back. So okay, I'm just going to select these vertices, hold V on my keyboard, and I'm just going to snap all of these back here, just so that they're in full contact with the bumper. Because obviously when we add the bevel, what it does is it actually offsets it a little bit. So we'll take all of that back. We could also do the underside as well. So we could grab the underside here. We'll just hold V and snap under here. Okay, so that leaves us now with these. So let's isolate the selection. Inside here, it still looks like I've got a couple of extra faces at the bottom that I want to get rid of. So I'm just going to hit delete on all of those. Okay, so what we'll do is I'm going to combine these together. So I'm going to select them both. I'm going to go mesh and then we'll hit combine. Okay, we had a little crash, but we are good just now to continue. luckily Maya has very good autosave. So let's go back in and we're going to run around and we're going to merge all of these together. Okay, so I'm just going to run around and do the same for all of this. Bring that there. Okay, so we're looking quite good. We're kind of roughly at the same spot as we were with that extruded in before. So let's just hit 3 and we can see now that we have that as one complete unit. What I'm going to do, just to make it easier for you guys and myself to kind of see, is let me just apply my basic Lambert to that. Okay, so now we're kind of back to roughly the position we was at before. Let's take all of these top edges here. I'm going to take these, I'm going to hit Control E, I'm going to pull those down on the blue there, like so. And I'm going to go and insert an edge loop, and I'm going to drop one at the top, and then one at the bottom here. And then with the target weld, let's bring those back together. Something like that. So that will have defined that edge for us quite nicely. So when we hit 3 on here, it's going to work very similar to what we did in the previous attempts. So we're looking nice, but we're going much further inside there how we should be. Let's go and insert an edge loop. I'm going to drop one down here. Add that lower bit. We can hit 3 there, so we've got a nice defined edge on that inside as well. Okay, maybe let me just take that back, because it did drop another edge down there and made it a little bit too sharp. So what I'm going to do is I'm maybe going to drop in a loop just at the bottom here. Well, just vertices should I say, just at the bottom. And I'll drop a edge loop back down there, but this time what we'll do is I'm just going to merge that down into a triangle down here. And then we can get rid of that extra vertices. Okay, so we hit 3, and it's going to bobble a little bit weird under there, but we're not going to see that, so it's not a big problem. But that just makes that a lot smoother and a lot nicer as we go around the front there. Let's maybe go and take this edge, and we're going to hit that bevel again. And I think we'll maybe just bevel down there this time. Actually, no, let's maybe go. Let's see if we can run around that whole bit there. So we'll bevel that in. We don't want to go too much. Just add a single segment in there. Maybe something like that. And then we can hit 3. We can bring that all back in. So we're looking much nicer down there. We've got that inner section now. If we hit 3 on the bumper there, we can see we've got that little bit of a gap in there too, which is good. So that's looking good. So let's go and throw our gloss black on there. Okay, so we're now back to where we were before. And let's quickly, let's grab both of these. I'm going to combine them and separate them so that I can quickly just duplicate special. Okay, so that's looking really nice underneath there. Under here. We could maybe have a look at this section. Let me just get my reference images in position here. So down here it's a little bit different on some cars. I'm seeing on some of the more original concepts we've got a much different, it's actually a much nicer, to be fair, it's actually a much nicer diffuser that it used to have. It's got kind of like, I just think it's got way too many sections down here, but we do have what looks to be reverse lights in there, and we also what looks to be a rear camera down here as well. So maybe we'll do the rear camera first. So I'm going to grab a new primitive here, cylinder, and let's hit that rotation around. We'll go 90 degrees, and if we can jump into our rear view, hopefully we'll have that camera on here. We kind of do. We'll go in there. Okay, so I'm going to want to reduce the subdivision down here. Let's go realistically as small as we can without causing too much damage. So we'll take that down in size as well, like so. I think that'll be okay. I'm going to maybe rotate that around there. I'm going to rotate that 30 degrees. Okay, and we'll pull that into position just here. So we can see that there is a little bit of an angle on this. So we'll maybe try and reflect that same angle just in here. Like so. Okay. What I'm also going to do is I am going to grab my multi-cut and I'm going to drop, I think, 2 bits just there. What we're going to want to do is, let's maybe not do that. What we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to draw some edges in that are going to go down and through this section. So let's go and hit our insert edge loop, and we're going to drop one along here, which is going to go roughly at the top of where that camera kind of section is, and then one that's at the bottom here, something like that. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to have a look real quick to kind of see where those rear lights are. So they're roughly in the right spot just there. Let's maybe take this one, kind of just go onto my edge slide. Maybe take that up, something like that. I think just to make this a bit easier, we could just do something like that. Okay, and I am going to need to drop in a line through there. That shouldn't affect anything too much. That should be okay. Okay, so I'm going to take this here. I'm going to hit Control E. Let's scale this in. I want to get that matched kind of horizontally there. Like so. So we'll do something like that. And I'm going to hit Control E again and push that inside. Because there is obviously the reversing light that's in there. Okay. Let's also think about, obviously when we hit 3 on this, it's going to kind of curve off straight away. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to have a think about helping maintain this. So let's go and drop in, let's add a multi-cut actually, about halfway down here. And I'm going to insert the loop down there. Okay. What we're going to want to do here is we do want to have this section kind of nailed as well. So for now I'm just going to drop a loop here. That should just go and finish off there for us. Whilst we're here, I'm just going to draw around this. Might as well just draw around there. Okay, and then that's kind of the area for the camera. That's a little circle kind of area in there. What I want to do is I'm going to want to insert an edge loop down here and up here. Okay. I'm going to get rid of the one that's going through the middle. Just there. And we'll have a go maybe just mapping these down here and there. So again, we can get rid of this and get rid of those. Okay, so we've just got the kind of 1 coming in here. When we hit 3, we're still maintaining that curve. And then we're going to do the same around here. So I'm going to grab, we're going to go central there. And then I'm going to take from here and here, go down there. Looks like I missed a little bit. Okay, and we'll delete those two. Okay, so what that's done for us is that's helped maintain those edges. And then what we could maybe do is maybe we could just grab the whole way around there and we could create a small bevel. Just to help kind of maintain that. Now we do have a problem, everything's kind of going horizontally, so maybe actually what we could do, let's actually, instead of running through there, I think we might actually want to run vertically instead. So let's go and drop here and here. Okay, so that's helped us maintain that block a lot better there. What we also need to do is get rid of this here because we do have a gap in between those objects. So I want to do something like that. Okay, so again, if we hit 3, that's looking quite good up and through there. Let's add, and before we do anything else actually, let's separate these. And I think what we'll want to do is let's take all of these edges here and extrude them down, and then extrude them again. And then we'll target weld these gaps together. Okay, so we're looking a little bit wiry, but when we actually do smooth it, it is looking nice. So I'm going to grab my insert edge loop, and we'll maybe drop one at the top here, and we'll drop one underneath here as well. Okay, just to sharpen those up, which looks good. I'm going to just grab these here. We'll hit Control E. We'll bring the actual lens in a little bit, but we'll bring those in. Do something like that. Okay, so we can see now that's where the camera is going to sit now. So it is pinched a little bit, but that's only because we're in half. Once we do join the two sides together, it'll look a lot rounder. So that's looking good. Let's just insert an edge loop across here as well. Something like that, just to kind of help that rear section there. It's not looking the best just here, so let's take all of these. I'm going to pull those up just to kind of match that whole line going across there. That should help us out a little bit in that area. Okay, so we're looking quite nice for the most part. I'm not too sure about these extra bits here, but it does look like, let's grab that bevel that we made and let's take that in a bit more, because it does look like on the actual car that this bit here does have a little bit more shape to it. So we'll maybe bring that halfway. So now when we hit 3 on there, we've got a lot more of a kind of feathered edge, which looks a lot more like the actual example. So So that looks quite nice. Let's go and see if we can hit duplicate special on that, which we can. That's looking good. Let's go and add a glass. Okay, so we can start to see now how all of this is kind of tying in together. So even though they're separate objects, as we come out there, we're never going to know once we've got proper shaders applied to it. We're never really going to notice that. So that's looking really nice in there. We can maybe work on this top bit then. See if we can get this finished as well. So let's go and take all of this top line. And what's nice as well about these being extra, I'm going to extrude once and then just go again. About these being separate objects is that they're not going to affect the actual rest of the outline here. So as long as they don't look too bad themselves, we should be looking quite nice. And we can see once we smooth this out, it's not looking too bad. Maybe a little bit of an issue there, which we'll look to rectify. Maybe let's try and see what that looks like without, because we don't actually need these for this one. So I'm just going to select all those and hold Control and Delete. And then if I just hit 3 on here. Okay. So I think that's not too bad. I do think we want this and this to be further over here. Just looking at this reference image that I've got, I think I want that to be further over there. Let's grab this underside edge. I think we'll take these two. Take those back there. And can merge those together. Okay, so let's go and grab an edge loop. And we want to drop one down there. And I'm pretty sure we're going to want to drop one down here as well. And then we'll go and drop one at the bottom too. We'll hit 3. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. I think we're going to need an edge here as well though. Okay, so we're starting to see how that's intersecting up there. I think we'll want an edge along here. Okay, so that's looking nice. That's looking like one of the examples that I do have here. A lot of them are kind of concealed with the license plate, but we definitely want to have a little bit of extra down there, so I think that's looking okay. The only thing I'm not liking is this bit, how that's moving up there, so maybe what we could do instead is we could take that up here and get rid of that. Okay. So that's looking a little bit awkward when we have this. Maybe instead of doing that, let's maybe take that back away. We'll maybe grab that edge. And we're still on the edge constraint here. I'm just going to pull both of these maybe just a little bit further apart. And then that's going to soften off that top bit for me, so that's looking quite nice. So let's take this one as well and duplicate special on that one. And let's go here and drop on the gloss on there as well. Okay, so I've got that large area nailed in then just there. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I think that's looking really good. We do have the mesh that sits inside here, and again, just trying to see how far it sits in. It doesn't look like it's crazy far. inside there. And then of course we do have this section here, which is a little bit of a reflector. For something like that, I think the easiest thing to do would be just to create a red blin here. I think maybe just grab these. We can just assign the material to it. I think something like that looks like it would be fine for that. It actually looks like I'm looking at the concept one again, so it looks like maybe those ones there. So something like that would be perfectly fine, because it is just a little reflector that kind of runs along there. That's okay. Maybe we could just quickly add that to this side too. And then we can focus on the texturing for that one. Okay, so let's quickly think about getting some honeycomb mesh in here then, potentially. We can see we've got a little bit of space around here. This doesn't look too nice. Let me see, does that match up here? Just gonna quickly clean this up. There we go, looks a little bit nicer there. Okay, so let's go then and think about what's going to go down inside here in terms of our mesh. So let's maybe just remove the smooth from all of those. I'll maybe grab all of these here and hit duplicate, I think would be the best option. If I just center my pivot really quick and just pull that up a little bit. Pull that in here. So we just wanted to do like we do with all of our others. We just wanted to bring in like an extra kind of layer, an extra kind of plastic shroud that's going to surround. Because always the detail's always in the contrast for car models and things like that. So we'll take this like that. Let's maybe grab these top ones and do the same. So I'm going to take these ones here and let's duplicate those if I can find it. Just going to center the pivot there as well, pull that down too. I'm going to as well just assign the usual Lambert to these, just so it's a bit easier to see. Yeah, take all of these. I'm going to pull those backwards as well. Okay, and once we're happy with those, I'm thinking maybe a little bit more of a gap in there. Bring these back here. Okay. And then we just want to try and get the right angle for this as well. Something like that. We can check this side too. Okay, once we're happy with those, let's maybe just combine them together. So I'm going to go mesh and then combine. And then on here, I'm going to bridge. And then on this side, I'm going to bridge as well. Just hitting G on my keyboard. We are going to want to add in an edge loop about here. And take that in over there, like so. Okay. Let's take every edge on both sides, maybe just the front actually. Take every edge there. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to push away on the blue. Now this is going to give us a better idea, so maybe we are a little bit too thick on this side. So we'll grab those and we'll just pull those up. Okay, then we just want to get a good balance with everything else. Let's take all of those and just pull them in. Just deselect that one. Okay, I'm just trying to maintain the same kind of distance throughout. I think we'll go a little bit lower down here as well. Maybe select the rear ones. Pull those down a little bit. And then let's just quickly grab some edge loops. Drop that down there. And we'll drop that just there. Okay, we'll hit 3 on there, and obviously we're going to want to start maintaining some corners too. So let's go and drop in, we'll drop 2 edge loops up here. And we'll drop 2 down here as well. I think we'll probably just be wanting 2 on each corner. Okay, and now we can see that on this side where we actually start to, once we hit smooth, we do want to make a little bit of a change to this. So we'll grab that there. Maybe on these ones, maybe I don't actually want 2 on here, so maybe we'll just go for 1. Okay, maybe let's just get rid. Okay, so that's looking okay. Let's maybe see what we look like without that one. Or actually, let's just maybe select it. Let's grab these vertices on this side here. Pull that in. It looks like maybe we want these to be much further down here to help kind of maintain that. Maybe drop 1 edge loop up there. And it's just a case of kind of fine-tuning that until it's sitting how we want it to. So I think that's looking okay. So let's just smooth everything off and see how it's looking. Okay, so we've got that inside there, so that's looking quite nice. So what we'll maybe do in the next episode is we'll add the actual honeycomb mesh in there, maybe at the start, and then maybe we could do the rear bumper at that point, and then start to kind of bridge the gap in between. But we're looking quite good. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.